afternoon, everyone. Thank you, TEDx, for giving me this wonderful platform to talk on this lovely topic, finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. So I always aimed for extraordinary, and I tripled on this word called extra, and I landed up as an ordinary. And I realized the ordinary was a very good story to tell. But I did have some X factors. Do you want to know what the X factors were? I'll tell you one factor. I was 3 large XL in size, and I became large. That was a big achievement, right? That's extraordinary factor. Jokes apart, I hope I can inspire all of you with my journey and change the whole concept of extraordinary, everyone's mindset. So as a child, I was a very naughty child, and I was a very happy-go-lucky person. For me, passing was all what I needed. My parents were all the time stressed. What will this girl do when she grows old? Will she do well? Will she even achieve anything? And I used to say, why you all worry? Yeah, I have passed. What do you all have to worry? And I told them, I will have some, kuch to kar lungi life mein, don't stress. After hearing this, I'm sure none of you all think I'm extraordinary. But I must tell you all, everyone in the audience and everyone connected in our life, we all have an extra factor. It's about identifying, understanding, and in your journey, you will realize small things which you'll do which are X factors in your life, which is extraordinary. Here I'll give you all an example. Eating a dal makhani at a normal restaurant or at home, or eating a dal makhani at Peshawari, what is better? Of course Peshawari. Why? Because it's extraordinary. Why is it extraordinary? Because the way they cook it, slow, 24 hours, they put cream, the ingredients they put, that makes it extraordinary. So it's time we wake up and we understand what is extraordinary. For me, mentorship started from home. No one knows you better than your parents. And they are continuously mentoring you, trust me. And my parents were always worried about me. So they always, of course, they knew their knack of, how they had to get their way with me. So my mother, of course, being a mother, for some people it may be fathers. My mother knows how to sweet talk. And she would always come and say, hey, you know what, Reema, you've studied, you finished your graduation, your sister's a CA, she's independent, making her own money. See, the idea was very clear. Independent hona hai. You have to be independent in life. How do you be independent? It is up to you. You choose your path. Why don't you study? And I'm like, Mom, हाँ ठीक है, पढ़ लूँगी, देखते हैं, बाद में करते हैं. And she said, Beta, trust me, you'll feel really good when you earn your own money. And I said, okay, chalo, I'll do my post-graduation. And I think that was the best decision in my life. Studying post-graduation in marketing really groomed me as a person. And I think I became a little sincere. And then, can you believe a person who didn't love studying was recruited first in college? There was a company which came. And I was one of the first ones who got recruited in college by a company. Do I call that extraordinary? I don't know. But we will know in my journey. There was a company called Financial Technologies. So I went to my dad, who's been my mentor. He has a road transport company. We started in 1983. And the company is named after me. I was 5. And I used to keep telling him, you're earning money, you give me loyalty. Please, okay, give me some money. And he would be like, you earn your money, you be independent. So of course, it was just out of, humor. But I went to him and I said, Dad, what should I do? Because you generally go to your father. Then I used to go to my sister. I used to keep taking guidance from them. And they're older, right? So they have seen life much more than you. So my father said that, you know what? Your career, your path, your decision. My idea is that you have to be independent. So you choose your path. You want to join the company, you're most welcome, whatever you want to do. And I thought that decision was right. So I said, okay, I will join Financial Technologies. I joined Financial Technologies, internally moved to multi-commodity exchange. And at that point of time, then I got a call from KPMG, and I worked with ENY, and there I worked as a knowledge manager with senior people. So that actually taught me a lot of corporate life and how to deal with people, but it was more of internal marketing, not meeting people. And I'm a very people's person because I've done marketing and sales, and I used to always feel I, need to have that X factor. Internal marketing kitna karungi? So a friend of mine suggested, why don't you join media sales? And I said, yeah, I should apply. And at that point of time, India Today was coming up with a women radio station called Meow FM, which is now 104.ish, if you all can relate to it, in Mumbai. So I said, and they recruited me. They were very happy to take freshers. So I said, okay, let me join media sales. We took a year to launch the station, and when we launched the station, I went to my senior and I told her, you know, what if I close a finance client? Will you give me 2 months leave? That was a condition. And because we just launched a women's station, getting a financial client, she took it very lightly and she said, okay, first you close the deal, we'll talk about it. And I went and I said, that's it. It's a challenge. I have to close a financial client. The idea was not about selling. It was more about also, for me, sales is you have to be very persistent and you have to be very methodical. So I think that is what worked for me. I was very persistent and you also have to have passion for what you sell. It was a new concept. It was a station just for women. So I said, okay, I went to the financial client and every day I used to go and sit there. And whenever I got a meeting, I used to tell the client, please understand, this is the first time there is a radio station which is for women. You need to make women independent and you need to teach them about financial planning because they either, at that point of time, way back, maybe in 2004, that time women used to either depend on their husbands or their fathers or their family to plan financial. It's very important that they get educated. The idea was sold. And it was not out of sales, it was out of passion. So she called her agency, the client, and she said, please give her the release order. I went to my senior and I said, yeah, this is a release order. Now you give me, I've earned my 2 months. So that is all sales is all about. So I think all of us have factors and you'll realize in your journey what are those factors. But like I mentioned earlier, I want to change everyone's mindset on extraordinary. So after that, I said, okay, now I've worked in media, I've worked in corporate life. Nothing better than joining father's business, family business, which is under your name, Reema Transport. Started in 1983 when you were 5. You can't get any better, right? You feel pride. You have this whole proud feeling that it's under my name. Like I will go and say, hey, I'm Reema from Reema Transport. So I went back to my dad and I said, hey, Dad, I want to join you. Can I join you, please? And he said, okay, you can join me. And I'm talking this 15 years back. It's been 15 years in the industry now. And at that point of time, people used to always call this a male-oriented industry. So I said, okay, Dad, he said, please understand, you're not coming as an owner's daughter. You're coming there as an employee. I said, of course, I don't know anything about your industry. Yeah? Please, I know I will learn. Don't worry. इतना बाहर सीखे अपनी कंपनी में तो जान लगा देंगे, Dad. So he said, okay, come. There were a lot of underlines and challenges which I didn't know of what I was getting into. But I was up for challenges and I, of course, had the entrepreneur skills. See my father grow, do it all. And we are actually we started with ambient business, that is normal road transportation. And we gradually got into cold chain road transportation. So we basically work a lot with pharma clients and confectionaries. 80% is pharma. So a new line of business. Of course, when I joined, they had already started this. So I said, okay, now the change happens. I joined at an era where there were hardly any women in this industry. There were women, but they were all in back office. They used to either be in accounts or billing. Women are the mindset which people have. Women are not known for physical hardship. It's just a mindset. Today in Indian Army, we have women. We have engineers. We women give birth to children. We bear so much. We are multitaskers. We are good mentors. We are good leaders. So there's nothing what a woman can't do. I'm not saying men can't do. I think women also can do everything what men can do. So I think that is extremely important. And that was the era when I joined, where there were hardly any women in this industry. Of course, my idea was not that I joined my father's business and I start throwing orders. No ways. I had to make a change. And what was that change? So going forward, I'm not going to address extraordinary as I. I'm going to address extraordinary as we. And I will tell you why. When I joined Reema Transport, who were my gurus? You know, that industry at that point of time used to do everything manually. There was no technology, there was no AI, there was nothing. There was hardly any technology which was used. Everything was manual. Your lorry receipt was manual, which you make when you actually get an order. Of course, I don't expect you all to know about it. So either there are graduates or there are 10th pass or 12th pass. But they work with what? Dedication. They were my gurus. Because of them, because they are extraordinary in their work, I am extraordinary. So it's a teamwork. It's never an individual achievement. So what is extraordinary? Again, my question. Me or them? It's we. And that's why I wanted to change the concept of this whole extraordinary. Then I realized I had to work with them. I had to understand the work. I had to fill in the gaps. When I talk of filling the gaps, of course, the implementation to change, now times have changed where technology, that time it used to be only GPS where you could track the vehicle. Now we are into cold chain, we have to track temperature, there's a lot of tracking. For that you have to skill your staff. And I would not call them staff, I would call them family. I had to skill my family, and that was a gradual process because they were not ready for change because they were so used to doing things manually. Where is the vehicle? What time is it reaching? That was the era. That had to change from going on the computer and seeing where the vehicle is reached. Give an update to your client. Now that is the era what we talk of, where your clients can sleep in peace and so are you in peace because you get alerts. So I had to change that mindset. I had to change the mindset. People were they used to say, I have implemented this. And I had to explain them, please understand, you may have implemented it, but there is someone working with you to implement it. So let's talk of we. I'm going to take a pause here, and can I please tell all of you all to clap? Please ask me, why did I ask her to clap? The reason being, who are my main heroes? Are my drivers. I spoke about my RTPS, Reema Transport family, but who speaks of driver? And there is no bigger platform than TEDx to give them recognition. So thank you, TEDx, for giving me this opportunity to applaud them. As companies, we do our bit, but they never get a platform like TEDx where they will be recognized. They work dedicatedly, 24 hours, 24/7, COVID, whatever we are wearing, the lights, everything is transported by them. During COVID, everything was shut. Road transportation was working. And there were challenges. The kind of challenges they went through, we all sleep in peace while they are working hard. And their family is worrying what is happening with them. They eat food which is unhealthy. They are my real heroes. They are extraordinary. They make us extraordinary. So let's recognize them as an industry. Please, I think it's high time people know that. The emotions they come with. So I have been a part of Smart Driver Award jury from last 2 seasons. And I nominated few of my drivers, and one of the seasons my driver came in top 5. And I thought he needs to get recognized in the firm, so I called him in office, and I also call other drivers. When you talk of Smart Driver Award, it's not about looking smart. It's about how smart you think. Are you well versed with technology? How are your driving skills? How are you keeping yourself? How do you communicate with people? How do you communicate with your clients? Are you wearing a uniform? There are a lot of parameters. So, he got a certificate, of course, from Smart Driver jury people, and they're giving him a small gift. And out of emotions, my father gave him 1,000 rupees in front of everyone. 1,000 rupees. That man's joy, I can't tell you. He was my hero that day. After the whole thing, I went up to him, I said, Vijay ji, aapke saath ek photo ho jaye. You know what he told me in Hindi? And I'm going to say, हमारा company का नाम अच्छा हुआ, मैं hero जैसे लग रहा हूँ. That's it. हमारा company. He takes you as a family. Take him as a family. Because of him, we are here. Because of him, our business is working on wheels. Because of him, we get business because they work dedicatedly. Apart from that, there are a lot of small initiatives as company what we do. There's a concept called Chalak se Malak, where actually drivers become owners of a vehicle. So it's a concept which is by one of the OEMs, and we implemented that. They become owners and they attach the vehicle with us. So they get an income out of it. That's a motivation for them. And I'm happy to talk about this in detail because I'm pressed on time. I'm not going in details about this. So there are these small things. When I used to go to a client, initially, they used to wonder what this girl will give me quotation and understand what transportation is all about. What will she do? I had to prove my worth. I went only when I was sure. I went to the market when I was ready that I know what I am selling and I will sell it with passion. When I have so much passion on my heroes and in my RTPL family, Reema Transport family, nothing can go wrong. And I'm sure now, and they are extraordinary, and I'm sure I cannot fail, ever. So yes, Of course, that thing was gone. Another thing which I actually worked on was self-branding, which plays a very important role. Again, I started self-branding only when I was ready. I went on social media. So I have a mentor who has a magazine called Trans Topic. His name is Girish Michandani. He said, Reema, why don't you start writing articles? I said, okay, Girish, let me try. Let me give it a try. I wrote and I started realizing people started appreciating what I write. Other media houses started coming to me and telling me, please talk about your journey, talk of technology, please write about it. I started being invited for forums. Suddenly I thought, wow, I've become like a star. Like, मुझे तो कोई जानता ही नहीं था. Who knew? And we are not even national players. Then I realized I started getting awards, and those awards were genuine awards where people invited me to apply. I just applied and I got in. I said, wow, this is really good. That means I must be doing something right in life. Then I actually recently was a part of I worked on a curriculum for state government with private players through ENY. They had invited me to talk on it. So I actually worked on that. I also worked for general management curriculum for my own college, IES. I also gave lecture at IMM Ranchi. And I realized in my career, I had a lot of mentors. Started from family where I had my parents, my sister, her friends. So for me, whoever's taught me is my mentor. And I've been in touch with all of them. In my corporate life, in my media sales, mentor taught me it's important to do cold calling. And trust me, I still do this. I still do cold calling. There's nothing to do with designation. There's nothing. You want to crack a deal, you have to work. So I think old methods with new methods play a very important role. I personally believe you build bridges, not walls. When I say this, it's very important to know it's time to collaborate and share. It's not time to compete. Work, don't call people competitors. Work with them, please, and share knowledge. It's very important. Networking plays a very important role. Because you know what you learn in-house, that every company will teach you what you can learn. But when you network and meet people, you'll realize what offerings you can implement in your organization, what will help. So, and you know, by people's mindset is that women don't network. I think, no. I network, and networking has really helped me. Again, giving an example, which I'm not going to get into details. I'm happy to talk about it post my session. So, my father used to always deal with theft cases, and I used to get very, wow, it's like a detective finding out kidhar chori hui hai, police se baat karna hai, what do you tell the client? Wow. I said, Dad, ever such scenario comes, I'll come and handle one. You have to let me handle. He said, okay, handle. Again, underline. Everything is underlined. Dad never says no. Jo karna hai karo, learn karna hai karo. There is no stoppage to learning, and I personally believe there is no stoppage in any line when it comes to learning. So I went to Dad and I said, Dad, last year hua, can I handle? Go. And it was, that theft had taken place in South. Oh my God, it was a challenge for me. It was a nightmare. It took me 15 days to 16 days to get an FIR in Panchanama. One, language barrier. Second, convincing the client to tell why is the Panchanama taking so long? Why is the FIR taking so long? Because they had to claim it to the insurance. Then the cops will keep calling you. They don't understand what you speak. Even if you speak in English, they don't understand because language barrier. I had to tell my local manager to talk to him. Then I realized what will help me to get an FIR faster. My networking played a brilliant role there. So I talk a lot to association people, and I can't imagine people are so happy to help you. It's just about reaching out. Don't make it an ego issue. Please reach out to people when you need help. Reach out to people if you don't know something. It's very important. If you want to grow and you want to be extraordinary, these are very important aspects of life. So please reach out. So networking plays an extremely important role. So here I would like to tell you all that in life, self-branding plays a very important role. Self-branding didn't only help me, it also helped my company. And it also helped my father's name to come up, Mr. Kothari, which gives me a lot of pride that I'm his daughter and he started this company. It just feels wonderful, right? And my Reema Transport family, which is my pilots' heroes, and my staff, my employees who work so hard. A message, there are a lot of students who come and ask me, is this the line to be in? Please understand, If this industry is not going to grow, I don't know which industry is going to grow. Today you get 10 minutes delivery, Zepto de dega, Blinkit will come and give you, deliver. Road transportation, guys. Everything you get in 10 minutes. So I keep telling people, if you have passion, you have perseverance, and you want to live your dreams and you're up for challenges, this is the industry to be in. And please don't get into this, oh no, I'm a woman, will I be able to do it? Please, don't victimize yourself. Please don't. You can do anything, whatever you want. So if you're up for your passion and your dreams, and if you fail, it's okay. Failure will teach you something. Pick yourself up. Get that extraordinary factor in you. I will learn. If you don't know something, you are not supposed to know everything. There are times where I may not know, but you have to have hunger to learn. Know about it and go and tell the person, I will get back to you. I didn't have this answer at that point of time. I will get back to you. No one is here to judge you. People are asking you those questions because they are curious to know. So if you're up for challenges, so then please live your dreams. I want to actually want to say something which I actually read, and it's very interesting. In quiet corners of ordinary lives, greatness whispers. Listen closely and you will hear, extraordinary will rise. Thank you so much for having me.